Men and women are very, very interesting. Ultimately, we desire the absolute opposite thing to what the other person desires, right? When you scale everything back, when you remove all of the layers, the woman ultimately simply wants to be free. Okay. The woman is tied to the body, tied to the family, culture, society, men, hospital, medical institutions, the pill, sanitary product. The woman is tied to everything around her without choice. The woman is not an independent being. She can never be an independent being. The furthest thing a woman can ever be is a pseudo-independent being. It can look like a woman is independent if she still has men around her providing and protecting her and the society that she lives within, right? The woman can never exist on this earth by herself. It's impossible. Okay. If societies were to collapse and stuff like that, the woman cannot exist on this planet. Her unconscious knows it, her biology knows it. All right. And because the woman is tied to everything around her without choice, the woman's simple, strongest, ultimate desire is to be free. This is what she wants. She simply just wants to be free. She simply wants to have options, and she simply wants to have choice. She wants to be free. She wants to have choice, and she wants to have options. She has a powerful desire to have all of these things because she is tied to everything without choice. This is the reason why, if you was to be a woman's boyfriend or husband, right, if you was to provide for her, protect her, and do all of the things that you're supposed to do, she still wouldn't willingly submit to you because she wants to be free. And this desire to be free is so powerful. This is the reason why women often end up mistreating their boyfriends and their husbands. Women do the most damage to the people around her, right? Women hurt the people who love them. And the reason why women hurt the people who love them is because she despises the people she's attached to. Okay? The woman is dependent. If the woman is dependent on you, she will think and feel like you are in the way of her independence. Okay, so this is the reason why a woman could seek you out to be your boyfriend and break her back to make you her husband and then switch up on you as soon as you are. She'll start looking at you as the person now who is stopping her from her freedoms, right? And this is the reason why she sub-communicates and indirectly communicates. So because the woman has all of these things, she simply just wants to be free, right? She has pathology with freedom, options, and choice. So the woman doesn't want to be committed to anything. The woman hates commitment, right? And this is the reason why the woman hates being responsible and accountable for the things that she does. All right. She doesn't want to be tied to anything, even her words, her actions, even the bad things that she does. She doesn't want to be tied to anything. Right. But when it comes to dealing with men, her whole thing is to tie you. This is what marriage is, right? Like the man is completely free. He's tied to nothing because he's not tied to his body. He's not tied to nothing. A man can live independently in this world. If a bomb was to drop down tomorrow, a man can survive independently in this world. He can climb what he needs to climb. He can lift up the things he needs to lift up. He can fight the things he needs to fight. He doesn't have any periods. He doesn't have anything that will tie him to a fixed location or tie him to things. He doesn't have anything with his body that could make him very, very dangerous. All he has is testosterone, right? So he's built for it. So because of that, the woman will obsess on making the man tied, right? The woman hates the fact that the man is untied and she is. So she will develop pathology around tying the man to things, right? Creating a dependency within that man to keep that man tied to a fixed location. So this is the reason why women are, marriage and stuff like that. Marriage is the way that you will contractually and psychologically tie a man to you, to the family, to the society, to the same things a woman is tied to, right? And before marriage, it's commitment, right? So when a woman is just breaking her back to try and get you to give her commitments and declarations of love, she's just trying to tie the knot, tie you to things, chain you to things, because the man is free. What is so interesting about the the dichotomy of this is that because the man is tied to nothing, the man desperately wants to be tied to noble things. The man wants to be tied to things. He wants to be he looks at the woman and he thinks that the woman is lucky that she has all of these things tied to her, that he sees that the woman has meaning and fulfillment in life because, you know, she's tied to society, to family, to culture. The man looks at the woman and thinks, wow, how nice would it be to have all of this working for you? Society, politics, law, the schools, the family, culture, media. How nice is it to have all of these things working for you? How important are you? The woman has inherent value. But the man is free without choice. So the woman is dependent without choice, and the man is free without choice. He's got no choice. He doesn't even understand he's free. He just thinks that he's just been left out in the world to figure things out for himself. And he has. So he doesn't appreciate freedom. He doesn't appreciate the freedom to the same degree as women appreciate freedom. And the woman appreciates freedom because she will never be free. So that's why she develops pathology with it, right? And with the man goes the opposite way. When the man was a little boy, he did not want to break his ties with his mother. He didn't. He wanted to be a little boy for the rest of his life. Him and his mum. Right, him kind of like where everything is making sense. He didn't want to have that tie cut and severed. He didn't want that umbilical cord cut off and then him thrown out into the world to figure things out. He didn't want to have to learn how to swim with the sharks, right? So the man is always looking for noble things to be tied towards. And this is the reason why the man is a pioneer of the greater good. This is the reason why the man is the pioneer of the truth, logic, God. He wants to make sense. He wants to be tied to the truth, tied to something meaningful, you know, because the man is always looking for his why. If the man doesn't have a why for his suffering, he'll become nihilistic. And when a man is nihilistic, he can become evil, or he can kill himself. Right? A man needs a why. The woman doesn't need the why. The woman runs away from her why. When the woman is born, her biology, she has a why, right? To be a woman, to represent and symbolize a woman, and to have to be a mother, and to maintain and nurture a man. She has that why already built into her, right? So the woman resists against her why. She doesn't like the fact that she's boxed by the world, and she's also boxed by nature. Nature has boxed her and told her, listen, as a woman, you are homogenous. You have a role, do the role. So what women tend to do is, the women who hate that, and they tend to do not like that, they will develop an anti-purpose, right? So the woman's why becomes resisting all of the things that are expected of her, even her own biology. The woman's why will even be going against her own self. She will even turn her back on her own biology and her own psychological, her own incentives of what her body, her emotions, her mind wants her to go and do. So her purpose becomes resistance, right? Resistance and freedom. This is why all women are social justice warriors. It becomes resistance and freedom. Right? And the reason why the woman subcommunicates and communicates indirectly is so she can stick to what she truly wants. She truly just wants to be free, and she truly just wants to resist others, right? And she'll pretend everything that she does is pretending. She's going to pretend to do these things that she's supposed to do, but really and truly, she's just setting herself up in a way that she can be free, right? Most women are promiscuous. Most women don't even want to be tied down to one guy. Most women want to have novel experiences. They want to have the guy that will pay her bills and won't go nowhere. And then she wants to get dicked down by the other guys that she's truly attracted to, but she can't tie down. Right? So anyway, so the woman resists her why. Right? The woman has a purpose ingrained into her body. She's reminded every week for her hormonal cycles and her period and the period stuff. Right? She's reminded all of the time. Her body literally goes through suffering. She has her own overcoming pain and suffering. It happens in her body, right? So the woman has her own rituals into her transformation. The man doesn't have anything like this. If the man doesn't have a ritual or a social orientation into becoming a man, he will never be a man. He will always remain a boy. Right? So the man doesn't have any of these things. He's literally created and left that into the world to figure things for himself. So the man is always looking for ties to the greater good. So the man wants a noble thing to sacrifice himself for. He wants a why to his suffering, because if he doesn't have a grandiose why to why he's here, then he's not going to be able to operate correctly. So the man wants a family. He wants a dynasty. He cares about his country. He cares about his race, right? He cares about humanity. He cares about all of these things greater than himself, because he needs to be tied to something, right? So the man wants to be tied because he's not, and the woman wants to be free because she's not. If you're a guy and you're dealing with women, so for example, what's made me so successful with women is that I've always understood that women simply just want to be free, okay? They simply want to be free, they want to have choice, and they want to have options. So how I've always been successful with women is I've never put women under the anxiety to do anything. I will never be, you'll never find a woman out there that could ever call me controlling. I'm the opposite of controlling. I will allow the woman to be free. I want the woman to be free as well, right? So when I'm dealing with women and stuff like that, I contribute to the woman's freeness. I want her to be free. I want her to have options, and I want her to have choice as well, you know? So, the type of person I am, I would never seek a relationship. I would never want to make a woman my girlfriend. I would never want to make a woman my wife. I would never want to put shackles and ties onto the woman. I know that the woman is just simply trying to put shackles and ties onto me, and that's why she's pretending she wants to do all of these things. But I know the woman is just dependent on me. Do you get it? I know that she doesn't love me. So what I do with women is I do not allow her to exercise any dependencies on me. All I will do with a woman is I will build love. And how I build love within that woman is by, as I said, I don't put any anxiety onto her, right? So I don't put any anxiety onto women. I'm not pressuring them to be good. I'm not putting shame onto them. I'm not telling them that they should be doing this and not be doing that. I'm not doing any of these things. I allow them to operate, and all I do is I meet women in a fantasy. I play with them. As long as it's not harming me, I allow them to believe who they think they are. And we have fun. I give her pleasure, right? I'll see her at night time. We'll smoke something together. We'll eat good food. We'll have sex, fun, pleasure. Anytime she tries to make it not like that, I'll be ambiguous. I'll communicate with her. I'll never allow her to trap me into certain conversations, to trap me into certain dependencies. I'm very elusive. I'm very ambiguous. I'm very cheeky. I use my intelligence to be cheeky and to get away with things. That's what I use my charisma for. I don't use my intelligence or my charisma to impress her. I use my intelligence and my charisma to sub-communicate with her, to seduce her, to slip out of this, to pull the wool over her eyes, to create smoke screens, subversions. This is how we keep it fun and entertaining, right? And this is how I'll make a woman seduce herself out of the fantasy. Anyway, the woman will seduce herself that way, because what you want is you want the woman to believe every decision she makes with you comes from freedom, choice, and optionality. Freedom, choice, and optionality. You want you want your woman to stop speaking to other men because she's come up with this as it's the best. That's what she wants to do, or she's so fixated and obsessed with you and how much fun she's having with you that she will seduce herself, right? So you want the woman to be free, guys. You want to aid in the woman's freedom. You don't want to add ties and shackles to her. That's why a woman can be fake with you forever, right? The woman tends to be her true, dark, authentic self with players, fuckboys, men who put no pressure onto her, Men who don't make her feel shame for who she truly is inside. Guys, like, follow, sign up for the one-on-one coaching.